Panzerkampf.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tank Wars Tournament and From the Depths. I am Chromoid, and today we're going to have our first match of this 41-entry tournament. Let's get started. In the red square, we have Corner Cutters, submitted by GXY. This team features 4 flashlight tanks, 3 Havoc missile tanks, and these 2 massive Slug tank destroyers. And in the blue square, we have Molten Salt, submitted by Kradbull. Very, very interesting looking. They have Molten Salt written repeatedly on top of their posters there, and they have these flames on top. So I like this style. It's very interesting. And Battle 1, start. The Corner Cutters are sizing at their opponents, it would seem. I don't see any shots being fired yet. Oh, there we go. The light, oh no! The Havoc in the back has just hit one of the Slugs, it would seem. The flashlights are starting to open up, but a Havoc runs straight into a Slug. And that's not good because the Slugs are equipped with very, very deadly railguns on the front, and the Havoc needs to be moving out of there. There goes a flashlight. The Corner Cutters don't seem to be doing much. They're cram cannons, so they'll take a while to load up, I guess. Missiles coming in from one of the Havoc missile tanks. Are they going to make it? Oh, not quite enough range. It would appear that the Molten Salt team is slow off the line. Some seem to be stuck in the ground almost. Oh, there they go. They just shot themselves free. And a volley of cram is used forth to deal with the intruders. And it looks like Team Corner Cutter is just tearing itself apart in the back here. They cannot get around these massive tanks. And all Molten Salt has to do at this point is clean up. There goes a cram. Oh, it missed. Missed. Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. It got one. Had to go through the spawn stick, but there it is. The Corner Cutters' big hitters, the Slugs, are finally coming within melee range. A single flashlight's made it into the midst of the Molten Salt and has probably run into one, which is really not good. Those things can derp you at point-blank range. Of course, if this one in the back tries to derp first, it's going to kill its teammate. Alright, so missiles coming in. I don't know if that came from the Corner Cutter here, or I'm sorry, the Slug. No, it came from that Havoc, which just ran into the Slug and died. Oh, AI. The Slugs are doing well, though. In spite of having run over half of their team, they're still very much alive. Meanwhile, the Molten Salts, it looked like one just got absolutely wrecked by, I'm assuming, one of its own friendly crams. Yep, see, there's another one. Molten Salt just blew apart one of its friends here. And a flashlight tank on the right. This Slug over here is just laying into the Molten Salt. So this flashlight is happily plunking away at the back end of another Molten Salt. The Molten Salts don't seem to be very, very agile. And so in spite of Team Corner Cutter pretty much gimping itself at the very beginning, losing all of its missile tanks by running over them, one of its flashlights is still stuck in the back there. It's managed to get stuck in, and it's taking these cram cannons for a ride. That one might be good. Oh, yep, there goes the flashlight. It doesn't seem to be too damaged. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yes, I don't see this lasting very long. This tank over here, I think it's within range. I can go over here and keep an eye on the action. I see the Slugs are just doing work. They're sitting at range, happily plunking away. That shield in the front seems to serve them well. I was going to check on the range on this flashlight tank, but I think the Molten Salt have just made sure that that's a moot point. I don't know. Yeah, the flash, there's 2 flashes. The Molten Salts are still mostly there, just getting slowly torn apart by the Slug's railguns. Yeah, they're all still there. They were just trying to figure out how to deal with these little flashlight tanks. This flashlight's still alive, amazingly. That's pretty cool. still firing too, it would seem. Here comes a cram. Let's see how much of an effect it has on this slug. Oh dear. I think one of the flashlights just got it. I don't know where that's aiming. Oh, it's aiming at the now despawned flashlight in the back there. Yeah, that's a waste of a shot. Yeah, the shields are actually mounted on the rail cams, which is really, really cool, I think. They've got their vision stuff right there. For those of you who may not know, this tournament doesn't have full automatic detection. I use about 70% automatic detection, which means you can still aim without detection equipment, but it's not going to be as accurate as it would be if you put some detection equipment in there. Oh, this is going to hurt flashlight. Actually, it's probably going to hurt the Molten Salt as much as it's going to hurt you, but I guarantee it's going to hurt you more. And, hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, jeez, the cheesy memes. Well, it looks like that's the end of the flashlights. That one just took a big old cram cannon right to the face. I don't think it's going to be alive. Let's see, a flash, 60%. Oh, no, it's still alive. Not AI dead, not below 55%. Well, this is a very, very slow match. What a way to start the tournament out. But, you know, when you have something called the Molten Salt team facing off against two gigantic Slug tank destroyers, I guess this is what you'd expect, honestly. They're not fast. They're big, they're heavy, and they're very, very strong. The flashlight doing work by being in the middle of the Molten Salt. They're just blowing themselves apart. Most of the damage to both teams have been done by themselves, and the teams have been tearing themselves apart from the inside out. Part of the joys of From the Depths AI. There's now husks of Molten Salt everywhere. We've got one below 41%. That will be despawning soon. I'm guessing it's this one right here. Let's check here. Yeah, that'd be, yep, it's despawning now. Nope. I'm sorry, it's these over here. Two of them just despawned. So that means that, Molten Salt isn't doing as well as I thought it was originally. We're down to less than 5 minutes, about 4 minutes 40 seconds remaining. The Molten Salt team has managed to take out all of the tiny tanks on GXY's team, the corner cutters. But the Slugs are still very much alive, and each of them is, I think, 15,000 materials. So that's 30,000 materials that are still out there. And if the maximum is 50,000, well, I can't imagine that that's going to be taking out those little tanks going to be enough to win. Oh, but that might be a big old high explosive shell landing on the rear of the left track on one of the Slugs. How bad is that damage? 95%. Wow, that's a good chunk of damage. And that was metal armor, too. This Slug is just blinking away at the Molten Salt's stone armor, which is surprisingly resilient against the kinetic rounds. You'd think it'd be a little stronger. Another Molten Salt bites the dust. We're down to a handful. Is that 5? Nope. 6 Molten Salts, 1 at 58%. That will despawn soon if it doesn't heal up. I'm guessing this is the one. No, that's not the one. There's one of these. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, that's not good. Yeah, it's this one. Nope, it's not this one. It's been despawned. Well, no, it's not. Okay, I guess it's the one without the wheels then. I can't tell. They're all the same tank. They picked a good place to fight, though. Oh, hello. Ammo detonation. I guess this one's done for then, eh? I don't know. I can't tell anymore. The Slugs are pretty much cleaning up at this point. They have more than enough materials remaining to win this fight handily. There's hardly any cannons left on the Molten Salt team. Just one, I think, that functions. All their detection equipment is in shambles, so their shots they're already inaccurate. Cram shots are even more inaccurate. These blocks in the front are really good at absorbing that kinetic damage, though. It's really doing a good job of taking it out. It's just not enough. Who had the cannon? Was it you? Who had it? Oh, there goes another one. Yeah, just pieces everywhere. Team Corner Cutter really needs to work on its teamwork. The only remaining tanks are the Slugs, and they only remain because they were the biggest and the strongest. I guess it's a survival of the fittest team. was no teamwork. There's only survive or die, I guess. I don't know. Seems kind of brutal to me, but some people like it that way. I'm not going to judge GXY. Or is it Gixie? I don't know how to say your name. It seems the slugs have just run out of ammunition. They have to reload. I would guess they use belt-fed autoloaders, although GXY could correct me on that. And they're not very big. You see the caliber on these things is small. I don't know exactly how small, but they're not big at all. Just a twin rail cannon on very, very large flat tanks with a big shield in front. Now that's a great defense against APS cannons, which don't have a lot of arc because they fire at a much higher velocity. Against something like crams, which actually arc up and over, it's not that good, if I'm honest. The slugs, I think, have got a little bit lucky in this first matchup, in that the Molten Salt got distracted by its little kamikaze run from the flashlight tanks. It's really, really bought them a lot of time to work here, because if these cram cannons had all focused the slugs down early, I don't think the shields in the front would have done much for them. And as we've seen before, those cannons are indeed capable of really doing damage to one of these slugs. I don't know about the main hull, but those big tracks on the side do make up a huge chunk of materials, and apparently a single shot from a cram cannon from these things is enough to disable or partially dismantle one side. This one still has a cram cannon but no wheels, or no power to move said wheels. Oh, there it goes. It just can't fire through itself. The cram cannon has been cut short. Oh, what a pity. Less than a minute remaining. In fact, 30 seconds remaining. The slugs are just cleaning house. There goes another one. Plink, plink, plink as the seconds tick down. Well, I think we all know how this is going to end. Not going to call it until the time runs out, though. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Alright. And the last cram goes off from the Molten Salt. Let's stop the clock. Let's stop the, yeah. Each of these are like 5,550 materials, and, there's only 3 of them left, and each slug is 15,000. So, yeah, massive extreme tank assault. So, a big congratulations to GXY. Your team, the Corner Cutters, will be moving on to the next bracket. And my condolences to Kradbull. Your Molten Salt will be going down to the secondary brackets to be given a second chance. But that's been it for today, folks. That's match number 1. Stay tuned for more. And thank you for watching Tank Wars.